Hi, it's Simone Stewart from Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. This program is aired on the Mercy and Truth Network. We go live on Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. your time. And on Mondays, we have our repeat at 3 p.m. local time or 4 p.m. within the environment. Hi everyone, welcome to Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. It's a program for women, about women, and by a woman. We share here the stories of trauma and struggles and challenges that women endure. And of course, we talk about the victories, the triumphs, and the many hats we wear and how we do it so gracefully. I call it the S on the chest. With me on set today is Natassia Wright. I need to tell you about this mighty woman of God. She is recently a recipient of the Governor General's Award for Leadership. She goes by Be the Change You Wish to See in the World. This woman is known for hosting several renowned leadership conferences and seminars here in Jamaica. And so she will tell us a lot more about how she does all of these things apart from being a wife and a mother and, of course, a corporate woman.
Yes.
Nastasia,
Thank you
welcome.
for having me. Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Listen, here we talk about everything about women and
Yes.
how we wear that big S on our
Mhm.
chest. But before we got there, we had to start with as children and teenagers.
Mhm.
So share with us a little bit, what was life like for you as a teenager growing up?
Sure. Even before I get to teenage years, I was born and raised in a small community by the name of Almontown.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised there. I remember at the age of about, let's say, 10 years old, I was probably in 5th grade. I remember going home one evening and a young man ran to meet me halfway and he was like, Nastasia,
Mm-hmm.
your house burned down. And I'm like, I'm not so sure. You're just probably being really cruel to me. So I didn't pay him any attention until I started walking, turning into my lane and walking to the house. And I started noticing different relatives on the street crying. Some look really distressed. By the time I get to my yard gate, there's no gate. At that time, we had one structure of the yard in concrete, one structure in board. And of course, you can imagine which side was burnt flat.
Yeah.
It left quite a number of us homeless. We had to share very small spaces, but we were able to manage.
Yeah.
A few months after, again, I came home to another sad news. My great grandmother, she told me when I entered the yard that my father was shot and killed.
Oh my God.
No, I am only 10 years old and I didn't know how to process that. And my father was my absolute world. He was my hero. My mother rough, so we never had that great relationship. But my father, oh my gosh, he was just everything to me. He was a police officer and he was actually executed while he was on duty one day.
Oh my God.
It was rough for me. 10 years old, but I started experiencing depression from that age. And I do believe there are many times I didn't want to live.
Yeah.
No, I pressed on nonetheless. I left micro practice in high school, moved on to Wilmer's High School for Girls. Of course, everybody's so proud. My mom, she ended up getting married, gave her life to God.
Awesome.
And I remember one evening in particular, she came home from being on the road that Saturday, and she said she was having an asthma attack. I could see that.
Right.
And she said she was going KPH. Under normal circumstances, I would go with her.
Right.
But in this instance, it was just me and my brother and at home. So she said, stay with him. I'll go and come back.
Yeah.
My mother never came home.
My God.
I was 16 years old, motherless, fatherless. Like I said, it was a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
So We got the call probably close to the Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Monday mornings, I had to sit CXE examinations.
Hold on. It's a whole heap to digest.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. And with me today is Natassia Wright. My God. This woman is at age 10, has had to be dealing with a burnt out house. Well,
Yes.
no shelter above
Yep.
her head. Her dad, her world, her hero,
Yes.
is murdered in the line of duty. And then, 4 years later,
Yeah.
her mom goes to the hospital for healthcare, never returned. And then now here we are now 2 days later
Yes.
to sit one of the most important exam in your life, because that sort of set the stage, or CXC set the stage for what takes place for us.
It does. It definitely does. And most of my relatives, they were like, you don't have to go. You know, you're under a lot of pressure. This is a shock to all of us. We don't think you'll be able to really, because of course, you hear your mother, they didn't take up no book.
Yeah.
You can't function.
Right.
I went nonetheless to school and I cried through a lot of those papers. I don't know how I was able to manage. They asked me if I needed extra time because they knew what was going on with me. And months later, when we got the results, I ended up with 6 2s and 2 1s.
This is the part where we do it.
Failed, yes. I failed not one of those exams.
Bless God.
And that's just God's grace.
Yes.
I tell people all the time, it's God's grace. It's not on my part because I wasn't even conscious of what was going on. No, my grandmother, who was living in the States, came home to take care of my brother and I. And 1 year after my mother died, that grandmother died of cancer.
My God. Oh my God.
The story, I can't even expound on the story too much, but it includes molestation. You're growing up with gang violence. You're seeing all these killings. You know, your environment looks like something you don't want your future to be.
Yeah, that's true. Was there anywhere in there that you blamed God by chance?
Of course. I got baptized when I was 13 years old. By the time I had experienced all those things, me done with God.
Yeah.
Me did done with God. No, literally.
No,
I'm not going to no church. I don't want anybody to come preach to me because I could not understand. It wasn't even about my father, because I said to myself in my little brain, I said my father wasn't a Christian.
Yeah.
My mother served in the church faithfully. I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So at that point I said, no, God. No to you. You don't care about me. Yes. So I said that at that point. But you know, there was also on the flip side.
Yeah.
I was still doing the things my mother had instilled in me. So although I don't want to go to church, if I wake up and I'm not feeling well, I get up, I get a glass of water and I pray over it. I still have olive oil in the house. Remember, I don't regard but I'm still doing all these faith-based things because it really was such a big part of me. I couldn't walk away from it.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that the Lord puts I don't want to say a hook in us.
Kind of a hook.
But the thing is, and the truth is that in recent times, that's my prayer, Lord, hook me. But the truth is, I think the word of the Lord says, train up a child the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. So what you find is that your mother instilled, she planted the seeds.
She did.
Right? It's some of it's those seeds now that you are now sort of living off, right?
Yes.
So you've moved up and you survived.
Yes.
Right? You survived, for want of a better word. You are now an adult. And what is it that you wanted to be? Are you living what you wanted to be now?
No, not at all. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wasn't sure at times, but I said to myself, I could defend people. And I liked that whole idea. I was very introverted. I still am an introvert, but I thought that helping people in that way would be an amazing thing. But God had different plans for me.
What do you do now?
Well, currently, my husband and we have a company that is faith-based, but deals mostly in leadership development. So we teach people about purpose and destiny. We go into corporate entities. But I feel like the topic changed now, because we're in a corporate or government organizations. Underlining the foundation is still there. We're still talking about living in your purpose. We're still talking about ensuring that your life impacts other people. We are international speakers. We are authors. The list is so long, but
well, yes. I don't want you to dig too much in because we are going to take a break. And when we come back, we are going to learn how this woman from this place, no shelter, no parents, has now made it to the top, to the point of even being awarded the Governor General's Award for Leadership.
The yard gate, my grandmother said to me, "Saturday, you hear your father dead." I was 10 years old. My father was my absolute world. He was a police officer and he was shot and killed in the line of duty in Anatown. Now guys, I'm just 10, but trust me, I knew what depression was because after that I lost it, literally. But anyway, my mother moved on. She ended up getting married. One evening, I was going to Woolmer's High School for girls because I was a bright girl. So I passed my GSAT, went to Woolmer's High School. One evening, my mother left my brother and I. She said she was going to go to KPH to get nebulized because she had asthma. So she left that night saying that she was going to go to KPH and come back. Guys, my mother never came home. My mother died that night from that asthma attack. At this stage, I was 15 years old. You want to hear the worst part? This was Saturday night late. Monday morning, I had CXCs. I had 8 CXCs to sit. Now, everybody was saying, boy, nobody go because, you go through a whole heap of stress. You lost your father, you lost your mother. I know you can't concentrate to do the exams. But I pushed same way, because I knew that was what my mother wanted me to do. So I'm going to go to school in the morning. And guys, I ball through the exam, then I wet up the paper. They have to give me extra time. Every now and then somebody had to come and check up on me because they could not understand how I was able to go through. I was scheduled to sit 8 CXCs exam, and I sat all of them. Now, by summer, when summer came, they didn't even wait until I went by the school to collect my results. My grade coordinator called me and she said, "Nas, I couldn't even wait until you come." And my results were as follows. I ended up with 6 2s and 2 1s. Wow. Yeah, clap. Only need to clap. Now, I don't believe that this was on my effort alone. I believe that God gave me the grace to go through. All right, listen to the rest of the story now. So I'm out of high school, right? I finished with Woolmer's. Enrolled in UTech, got through to go to UTech. First week of UTech, at the time when my mother died, my grandmother, who was living in the States, came home to take care of me and my brother. It's the first week we joined UTech, we start UTech, we buried that grandmother because she died from cancer. Guys, the story is not wholesome because some of the pieces missing. When we live at Almontown, my house burned down. I was molested. We go through a whole heap of things. Some of them we can't really talk. We don't have time to talk about it. You get what I'm saying? But I'm here for you. You know why? Because there's a whole heap of little Natassias in the crowd here. I'm going to come for telling you, say, it no matter what you go through, want to live, where people telling you, say, want to sit around you can make a difference.
Who am I really? Choices, choices, choices. In pursuit of a career? OMG, I'm a wife. Help! I am a mother. Oh, I'm in church. When do I get to be a woman that God called me to be? Uniquely Me covers the acrobatic endeavors of every woman to balance the responsibilities of being a mother, a wife, a professional, a church leader, a friend, yet still maintain her identity. I too am a mother, a wife, a trained minister of religion, a banker, an entrepreneur trying to balance the many hats that signifies my role. My book will help motivate and empower every woman who is really unique in her own way. Grab your copy today on Amazon because Uniquely Me is uniquely you.
Welcome back to Uniquely Me. We're talking today with Natassia Wright, and Natassia has quite a beautiful story. Yes, it sounds like the Cinderella story of losing her parents early, and then her grandmother came back to take care of her, and within a year, she too was gone. But this woman, rags to riches, for want of a better word, but I'll let her tell us about it. So Nastasia, sorry. You and your husband now operate your business and you're all over social media. As a matter of fact, we type in your name in Google and just so many things pop up, right? Tell us, how did that all happen?
Wow. To us, it feels like it was really just yesterday, literally. So we were dating, not married as yet, and he said to me one morning, he said, Nas, we should really send out some emails to people, just encourage them, inspire them to start their mornings. You know, people are usually down and they have to go to work on the Monday mornings.
Yeah.
Statistics shows that people have heart attacks preparing to start the new week.
That's true.
So we did it. I was hesitant. We did it, and the response has been overwhelming.
Wow.
People loved it.
What did you do?
We literally just sent emails with some encouraging notes.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. Soon after, we ended up doing books out of it, compiling those messages. That was our first book. Then we went on to something bigger, expounding on the different negative mindsets, how you can combat them.
Yes.
That was our second book. And then the third book is actually my story about what I went through.
What are the names of those books?
The first one is Mindful Recharge Your Mind. It's a 31-day inspirational guide. So, it's like a morning devotional thing. And then the second one is 30 Days to a Renewed Mind.
Right.
Big book, 30 mindsets, 3 ways to combat them. And then the third one is From Woundedness to Wholeness.
Wow.
Which is my story.
Wow. You can actually find those. We can find those books
On Amazon. Yes.
So moving from there now, you have you're doing seminars and kind of thing. Tell us about, because you did one of the biggest one the other day, Summit. You can tell us the name of it. Tell us about that and how was that birthed?
Okay, sure. So after we finished the 31-day inspirational guide, I said to my husband, I said, we could do a seminar, and he's like, seminar? Who would speak at our seminar? I would just name some people that are doing extremely well, told them about the vision, they came. That was our very first one in 2014.
Yes.
Today, we have done over 40 different conferences.
Are you serious?
The biggest one we've had is the Caribbean Leadership Summit, that we had in 2019. And we had a whole heap of people on it that are business people, but they're doing so well in Jamaica and overseas. We were able to even get words or endorsement from the Governor General himself about that event. And it so happens that we have branched off to the US as well.
I'm feeling so encouraged because, we have so many persons sitting at home thinking to themselves that I'm just going to like the woman said, we're just going to bake our last cake, eat it, and we're just going to roll over and die. We have a lot of redundancies taking place in Jamaica, a lot of companies closing down.
Yes.
And so persons are wondering what to do, what do I do? But here is it that you and your husband started something that it's just a little, what you call it, mindful. You just want to encourage persons on a daily basis to something evolving, to being not just within your little sphere. As Mr. Hanson, the owner of MTM would say, you're going into global space.
Yes.
And if you dream small, that's how your resources will be. But he says if you dream big, then you're going to go after the global space. And so you have gone into global. And so much so that the Governor General. Now I want to hear, how is it that it got to the Governor General's ear?
That story, oh wow. It was actually a gentleman called us. And he called Jamar and he said, you should really apply for the Governor General Award.
Wow.
And Jamar did. He did not get through the first year. The second year, he did not apply. They called him back. They said, come and present to us. Tell us what you have been doing that's new.
Yeah.
He did not get through. And they called him again last year. He did not apply. Called him back. Ask him, what are you guys doing now?
Yeah.
And I believe 2019 was a year they could not deny Mind Food International, because we had at that point extended, as you said, Mr. Hansen said, in global spaces.
Yes, yes.
So the attention was now on these two young people from Jamaica making such bold moves. Yes.
Yeah. I want to congratulate you guys. And I'm thinking that times to come we'll interview your husband.
Yes,
on
indeed.
that. But I want us to take the next 2 minutes and speak to a woman out there, right? That's thinking that I've lost my job, giving up hope, and there's nothing more to do. Or that person who God has laid a vision in their spirit, or in their given them a vision, and they're thinking that, hey, I can't do this. I want you to speak to them, tell them how you did it, and that they can do it too.
Sure. There was definitely a time in my life that I thought that I was literally a waste of a body. That's what I thought. I didn't think that my existence was warranted. It wasn't valued, until I realized that everything that I had been through was not to deter me or destroy me. It was only there to help me fuel, or help to push me to where God wants me to be. There's absolutely no difficulty, nothing that you're facing right now that can stop where God has prepared for you. We want to know the reason it is so important for you to embrace your purpose. It is because Natassia is not doing this for Natassia. Natassia is doing it for you. Because I wouldn't have known that years after I'd be sitting here with Simone speaking about my life experience. And because I'm able to encourage you, you can do what you need to do. So there are many other young ladies out there that need to hear from you. So I'm imploring you, you have to do it for those who are coming after you. You can do it with God's grace.
Thank you,
Yes,
woman of God.
welcome. Yes, bless you.
That was so touching. Thank you. You've heard it right here on Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart, Natassia, Governor General Awardee, sharing that you don't need to sit on the couch anymore. You can get up, because there's somebody somewhere waiting to hear the story that's in you. So, of course, if you want to have your story aired here on Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart, reach out to me, 1-876-856-5769. My social channels are going across the screen too. You can reach out to me there. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, I'd love to hear how this program has been impacting you. Thanks again for tuning in. Remember, Uniquely Me is uniquely you.